From Georgia's international music capital, Athens, it's Friday. Now here's your host, Rob Holmes.
Well, if it's Friday, there must be music on the way, so you might think you'd be right. Coming up later, Boom Fox joins us here on It's Friday. Right now, it is a great pleasure to welcome back to the show Tom Eisenbraun. Glad you could be with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rob.
Well, let's get the music started.
All right.
Tom Eisenbraun here on It's Friday. Well, all right. For the benefit of those of our radio listeners who weren't watching you do that, I think we should probably explain that was solo. That was one person, one guitar, one amplifier, and various other attached effects. But could you kind of give us a synopsis of what was going on there?
Well, I played for a long time on acoustic guitar just by myself, and spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to fill up as much acoustic space as possible with just two hands. And this past year, I finally looked over my electric and thought, well, I wonder, and plugged in and and tried it out, and it filled up so much more. A lot of that owing to having a delay pedal down, which echoes the sound like being in a cave or something. There's kind of echoes bouncing around, so that helps kind of fill up the space a lot more. So that song was written on an acoustic, and that was kind of the one where I bridged that gap. I thought, I wonder how that'll sound, and it just kind of opened up with the extra space there.
So in that case, it's a lot like just playing the piano and keeping the pedal down, so that things just run on.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, it definitely kind of enhances the space, kind of puts you in a little bit more of a, I don't know, a larger space. That's kind of how I keep describing it.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Well, we should back up a little bit from that and just get you to introduce yourself a little bit. You've been here before, but for those who didn't catch you the last time, just tell us a bit about yourself and how it is that you're here making music.
Yeah. Well, I'm Tom Eisenbraun. I've been playing guitar for enough years that it's not easy to count. I guess close to 15 now. And it's been primarily a solo effort, figuring out, like I was saying, how to fill up as much space as possible with two hands, and it's led me through a lot of kind of sonic exploration of just where the guitar can go. My parents tried for ages to get me to play piano, and I begged them for a guitar, and I'm kind of on this end of things, looking at it and thinking, man, I've only got 6 strings at a time, and they're about ready to smack me for it. But
you've got a very portable instrument that you can take wherever you go.
Yeah, and lately I've been kind of taking that want for more sound, for bigger sound that the piano could allow, and kind of trying to figure out how I can make that happen in some regard on this thing. And it's not a direct translation, but it kind of thinking about this thing as a vehicle for something else, and not just a guitar that you play guitar songs on, has kind of helped open up what I'm doing a bit.
Well, all right, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's we've got lots more things to talk about, but
sure.
let's get back to some music now and find out a bit about what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. This one this is off the EP I released last week. It's kind of it's a little bit different, so I'll just
and let's mention the title of the EP is Slow Joy.
Slow Joy, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Tom Eisenbraun here on It's Friday. You're really, when you do what you're doing, as you were doing it just then, you're really kind of changing the meaning of what it is to play the guitar, aren't you?
A little bit, yeah. I guess.
A little bit. I mean, for much of the duration of that piece, you had the fingers of your left hand forming a chord on the fretboard, but otherwise you weren't really directly interacting with the strings.
Not.
You weren't picking or strumming or the things we usually think of doing to make that chord be heard. You were tapping on different parts of the guitar body just in order to get kind of sympathetic vibrations from the strings.
Yeah, that's again part of that. Someone once accused me of screwing a lid on a jar constantly while I talk. I keep noticing that I do that. But the part of figuring out how to get that bigger space, I just got was trying to figure out how to create a swell of sound with this thing, and realized, well, it's a solid piece of wood. If I hit it hard enough, it vibrates. I wonder if I can control that. And it took me a little while actually to figure out that the headstock is about the most receptive place to it. I've been drumming on the body and on the bridge itself, which is metal and kind of rough on the side of the thumb for a while. But it's interesting. They all pull out different frequencies just because of the way that the guitar's built. The body picks up the higher end and kind of helps with the upper frets, and then the headstock kind of accentuates the bass, I think, having the sort of longer resonance there. But
now, you said that was from your new EP, Slow Joy, and I'm guessing perhaps that is the first track.
That's the second one.
That was a shortened version of the second one.
Yes,
then.
yeah. There's the original recording of it. I had an idea and thought, it sounded like a good idea. I didn't know if it was, but I just hit record before I tried it, and that wound up just being one of those places where I threw myself into a situation I was kind of musically uncomfortable in, and was forced to think kind of beyond what I was used to, and something happened, and I pressed stop about 15 minutes later and realized, wow, something just happened. And
so the title of that is "And Right Now."
Yeah.
Okay. Would it be okay for me to ask you to tell us the title of the first track on the EP?
Gosh, not from memory.
Okay. Well, I could read it. Would that be better? Yeah. The title is "What Began as a Lyric Essay for the Romantic Poets, but Echoed Wordless into Its Own."
Yeah. My was on the phone with one of my best friends last night, and he was giving me grief about the fact that I can't remember my own song titles because I've made them too long, and that was one of them.
It certainly is.
Yeah, the first was the first track I played today, and it kind of grew out of it. In 2009, I took an incomplete and a course on the Romantic poets, and my professor was kind enough to extend kind of 3 years worth of grace to the writing of that final paper, and I was trying to do that around the time that piece happened, and I was thinking a lot about what was going on with Symbol and the Romantic poets and everything, and I got kind of jarred away from all of that with the guitar in my hands, and just sort of an alchemy of thought came together in a place, again, that was just one of those where I just hit record, and kind of being pushed into that uncomfortable space of just putting myself on the spot. Had a take happened where something just kind of clicked. There's this a couple spots on there where the reverb of the thing just kind of becomes its own instrument and creates this kind of swell all its own. It just inhabits a space, and it kind of felt like I caught something there that I was chewing on elsewhere.
Well, I guess that long overdue paper was very much on your mind at the time.
Yeah.
But it's done now, right?
It is done as of last night, actually. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on
thank
that.
you.
Now, to hear the music that we've heard so far, one might easily loop to the conclusion that you're mainly concerned with the elements of melody and harmony, and that the words must not matter to you because we haven't heard any as part of the music. But that's not the case, is it?
Not exactly. I don't have too many songs with words to them at the moment, just because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to the words themselves, and so it takes a long time to write lyrics, just because there's a lot of thought that goes into them, and I stopped approaching things like a songwriter a few years ago, so I'm not interested so much in the kind of the songwriter story, but more kind of how to I guess kind of embody that musical space in a way.
Yeah, but in fact, you have been very focused on poetry in your your studies that you're now concluding.
Definitely, yeah. Being an English major for a long time, I took a hiatus, and it didn't stop reading, and so I came back and I had some life experience and a lot more of I guess a working memory of the poetry I was working with, and it's kind of begun to come together.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we have heard a lot of words from you because we've spent a lot of time talking, and I'd like to get back to your music and hear some more of that. And at this point, I should say, if the next piece you do is as long as the previous one was, then it'll probably have to be the last one.
Okay.
But then again, if it's shorter, then there'll be time for another short one.
Cool. I'd planned on the 3, so
okay, if that works out, then.
Cool.
All right, let's hear it then.
All right, and this one actually, I played it for you last time I was on the show. It was instrumental then. I said it didn't have words at the moment. They've been coming together. They're not. There's a couple spots that are sort of missing their lyrics, but it's coming together and grown.
So we got to hear a work in progress, still evolving.
It's 2 years. It's still in progress. It's going to be. It should be good by the time it's done, hopefully.
All right.
promise I wouldn't shake awake at the dead of night. This history, a condensed revise, and pray for the lifting. Were a word for this, I wouldn't wake up on the roof at night. Oh, my hands held high and shake for the lifting. This is my exercise in law and all flaws. Fly balloons in the mother jaw, a phoenix from the nest of an albatross.
That is Tom Eisenbraun here on It's Friday. Thanks so much for being here with us, and best of luck to you as you proceed on to other things now. We should mention, haven't yet, that you're on Facebook, where
Yes.
your identity now is the Poetry of X.
Yeah, it's
That was my first clue that poetry does in fact matter to you.
yeah. I stole it from borrowed it. I don't know. From a Wallace Stevens poem called "The Creations of Sound." It begins, "If the poetry of X were music, so that it came to him of its own." And I can quote a lot more of it, but the idea that.
But then we might be getting into copyright issues, so we won't. And also your new EP, Slow Joy, which we've heard both tracks, although in shortened form.
Shortened form, yeah.
And that's at Bandcamp, tomeisenbraun.bandcamp.com. Anything else you want folks to know about you before we end this?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, all right. Well, I understand you're wrapping up your academic career here and planning to be moving on. But I bet you'll be visiting Athens from time to time.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Please do stay in touch.
All right, will do.
All right.